People, I thought I would be over there at the cliff for you because I had a little extra time with an early start this morning and the Instagram done at dawn. But there were a bunch of cows, not these ones, these are just up here grazing. There were a bunch of cows over here on the path. That's not a flying cow, okay? It's a little plane. There were a bunch of cows over here. That's Magdala. There, you see them there now. And there were about 10 of them lying on the path itself. And so I did a roundabout which cost a few minutes not to disturb them. But that's life, you know, plans change. It can happen. Isn't it gorgeous? Ain't that gorgeous? Hey people, you know, big miscalculations, big mistake. And it's kind of a situation where you don't want to throw stones today because you're living in a glass house. It happens to us all the time. Big mistake, big miscalculation. Got a big mission to do, you know. And what happens? We get scared because we can't do it. Because we don't have the strength to do it. And that's absolutely true. But the mission we got is from above. It could be a little inspiration of a conscience, you know. Help this person. I don't have time. I have too much on my plate. I'm exhausted. I don't know the right people. I don't have enough F-16s. I don't have enough bows for my quiver, arrows for my quiver. I can't do it. I'm not able. You know, big mistake. Because he who gives the mission gives the strength to accomplish the mission, gives the resources to accomplish the mission. I should tell you something about Magdala. Look over there, you can see it from here, a lot of it. It's right there, you know. There you can see the guest house, the hotel, the Duc en Altum, the dome of the Duc en Altum sticking out over the trees there in the middle. I can't tell you. I imagine that if we knew all the problems we'd have doing that project, it would never have, Father Solana would never have started that project. Our superiors would never have okayed it. I personally have a bunch of experiences, normal simple stuff, okay? I'm not talking about major divine revelations and stuff like that, visions and all this kind of stuff. Just normal stuff, getting started in our mission in Germany. I'm brand new priest, don't speak German, don't have money. I had $400 going to Germany. And what the Lord has built up there, it's amazing. I was 11 years there starting that out. And that's a big experience for me, really, to look at that. And I won't say more about that now, but we're facing missions in life. People, I encourage you to see the readings that way today, because there's some issues in the readings that we just don't have enough time to deal with. But you see, God comes into our lives the way we are, in the culture we're in. He has to speak to us through what we know. Like, how do you explain the world to a person who's blind? So you have to think, what is their sense? It's hearing and touch. And so you use Braille, for example. So God uses the situations in which we're in to teach us bigger things about more important dimensions. And sometimes there are statements with political implications that we're just part of a path more than the definitive reality of the kingdom of God. In fact, we know with our faith that everything is going to be disappearing. An eye has not seen or ear has not heard the glory God has prepared for those who love him. So, but that's a whole other big theme. Let's just focus on this one today. If people trusted in God, sometimes the girl is overwhelmed because she's pregnant and she doesn't know what to do. Or you remember the case of Abraham is another big case. So Abraham goes and, he's not, God's plan isn't being fulfilled. He's too old and his wife is too old and she can't have a child. So, there's kind of a little secret plan there. And they say, well, just take the slave girl, Hagar. This is not so much a lesson about sexual impurity. It's about God's strength, trusting in God's plan. If God said that you and Sarah are going to have a child, it's going to happen. If God gives you a baby, okay, maybe you made some mistakes along the way, but there will be strength from the Almighty to take care of it. If a spouse passes away in a tragic accident and you have these little children, God will take care of it. There are people who will come to help. It's so sad sometimes seeing a young mom with cancer and all these little children, and we're praying for that mom. I think she's 48 and she's looking for bone marrow. We continue praying for her, and it's the last resort that the medical world can think of. The scouts go out to check the promised land and they get scared. But they think they're going to do it. I mean, they didn't open up the Red Sea. They didn't take the people out of Egypt. They didn't do the plagues. Big miscalculation. God is my strength. And you have a lot of people in life who believe that God exists. But then that's a growth of faith when you get to the point when you see God is running my life. God has given me the strength. And that's the Canaanite woman in the gospel. It's amazing because you see the word Canaanite twice in the readings today. You see it in the reading of the scouting of the promised land. And the Canaanites are perceived as fierce enemies. And that logic prevails, maybe even into our times. But in the gospel, Jesus uses precisely that case, like the Good Samaritan, the Canaanite woman who had great faith. The faith was not in her power, it was in his power. I'm going to ask your prayers as well for a priest whom I was very close to, who inspired me tons. He's in his early 70s and he's in the final moments of his battle with cancer. He's done a tremendous amount of good. Oh, there's a fox going up the hill here. I wonder if we'll get him He's gone into that bush over there, into that brush. Yeah, I saw him again. He was beside that big rock over there. I wonder, he was just there a moment ago. And actually I saw another animal that was like cat size and like a cat, but up here in the mountain. And I'm surprised to see a cat, so I wonder if there isn't a wild animal just like that. And this little animal scurried up the mountain. I was very close at the moment when it departed from the brush when I was doing the detour to avoid the cows. I don't think that fox, I think it was a fox. It'll be more clever than me here and more used to the terrain and know how to hide. You probably won't see it. Come on, camera. Zoom in a little bit here so it gets easier. This is a cow with a very full udder. And the other cow doesn't have any udder. Well, she has an udder, but it's a small little udder. Come on, lady. I think I'll get out of your way here. We just got to go down here, folks. Just tie your sandals. And we'll let this cow have the pathway here. Oh, by the way, people, I had a fantastic conversation last evening with one of our faithful participants in our sunrise stroll and chat every day. And some amazing ideas came out. And oh, look at this cow here. Look at her poor teeth. I wonder if the farmer's taking care of her. I'll report it to Abu Ferras. She needs help. Because look at the size of her teeth. And that's terrible. They can get mastitis and get very sick. So, what do I want to say to you? Oh, this conversation last night with this wonderful lady. And so, we're starting a pilgrimage in October that could be a help to an awful lot of people. It's a pilgrimage with Jesus through the Holy Land. And the last one we did in Lent had over 100,000 participants directly on the social media, and then it got shared into other things on television in different places. So, particularly the Spanish side of it. But the English side has definitely potential for huge growth. And a thought emerged yesterday in this conversation, which I hope is from the Holy Spirit, and that we'll be able to do with God's strength, that we could connect a lot of people that need these little morning moments at the Sea of Galilee. And maybe they're in a home for retired people, and they still have quite a level of mental fitness and ability if you teach them how to use an iPad. And this lady has done this with a bunch of people. She has shown them how to use the iPad. And there are people that get new iPads and then the old one can still work. It works with internet. And especially if you know somebody working in a retirement facility, in a home of caring for people that are in that kind of need. And then what can you do? Well, you could first of all just show them one or two of the programs for a few minutes and say, would you like to see the sunrise over the Sea of Galilee? And imagine getting that word going around in a retirement home. And it could become the conversation of the day when they'll talk about the sunrise at the Sea of Galilee. And it can give a rise to their lives. Think about that. Think about some people that could really get turned on. And even if you're in a situation of lockdown, you could talk to their nephew or their niece or their sister or their children or their grandchildren and say, hey, I want to help you to do a surprise for my old friend who's over there and probably doesn't have the ability to work the iPad. And you could bring this into a lot of people. And don't say you don't know anybody, people. Don't say you don't have strength to do this. Just ask for the grace. Lord, open the doors for me. Show me. Inspire me. Remind me the person that needs to see this. And the difference you could make in their lives. The difference you could make in their lives. It's amazing when we start thinking of what we can do for other people. It changes our own level of happiness. I was so happy talking with this lady last evening because you could see her whole concern was, with whom else can I share this? It was just so encouraging. I actually slept 6.5 hours straight without waking up. I think that conversation was a big help because I just went to bed so happy, thanking God for this person who had that desire and did those concrete little steps and brought a beautiful smile on the face of a number of people. And who knows where it will stop? Because that little waves on the lake, they'll keep rolling. They'll keep coming into the shore, touching so many little rocks, so many people, and bring a big difference. People, thank you so much for checking in today. I see a lot of new people here. This is the Sunrise Stroll and Chat at the Sea of Galilee. So I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope the Lord touched your heart in some way. Don't make the big miscalculation other people make. We all make them. Oh, there's a lonely cow down there. Miscalculation cow. The herd is back here behind me. Come this way. Hey people, I think we'll say goodbye for now, although the numbers are climbing here. What are we going to do? Hey people, just come in a little earlier tomorrow and see these glorious sunrises if we're alive and well, and the Lord gives us the strength to do it. See you later, alligators. Did I say goodbye to you? I don't think I did. God bless you. Great to have you here. Look at this lovely mountain and this beautiful lake, the Sea of Galilee, all for you each morning on Sunrise, Stroll and Chat.